Hey everybody, it's Michael Louden. Welcome back to Michael Louden TV. This is a running recap episode that I'll be bringing to you. And we're going to be talking about the K5K that I just ran down at Spring Valley Park in Parchment. Very good race put on today. In fact, here's the running shirt right here. It's a little similar to the one that I'm wearing that's last year's, except this one's gray. This one's yellow, and it actually does have the year on it, so this is 2015 on here. And it's got all the sponsors. Jeez. It's got all this. Well, if I can hold the shirt up, it's got all the sponsors on the back as well. So it's another technical shirt. So I love those because they can take all that moisture away from you. So when you sweat, so that's a good thing right there. So anyways, race went off at 9 a.m. So my alarm went off at 7, but unfortunately I didn't get out of bed till 7:30, so I was running a little behind. But not to the point where like I panicked and was like, oh, I gotta grab all my stuff really quickly. So quickly, I got up and I ate a little bit of breakfast, and then went and picked up my fiance Kathleen, and then we went off to the race. And when we got there, there was a big line for the registration. And actually after the race, I talked to the race organizer. Actually came up to me and talked to me personally. His name's Jim Misher. Came up and talked to me and wanted to know how the race went, and I told him, it was fine. I mean, there was a cones marking where you need to go. There was police officers, which thank you to them for being out there. They were directing all the traffic, and volunteers from Parchment High School as well. Of course, he always provides a fantastic race spread, and that's not actually provided by Jim, but it's provided by EMA Catering. They bring in yogurt along with fruit, strawberries, pineapple, blueberries. They got granola, Cheerios, animal crackers. Of course, they provide water and other drinks for you as well. So, I mean, they do a great job providing a very nice spread. One of the best spreads that I would say that's out of any race that I have ever run. I mean, just have all that fruit. I didn't grab the yogurt. I just grabbed all the fruit and a few animal crackers and some water as well. But a very nice race spread put on. And he was talking to me afterwards, and he said, we need to work on, next year, we know we need to work on the registration process. And so I'm not going to get too into it and criticize it, because he knows that it wasn't as great as what it should be. And what I'll delve into is there was a huge long line for the registration this year. Like they didn't have signs really marked out where, which line you should be in, because there was like two lines, and there was, if you were like M through Z, you're in this line. If your last name is A through L, you're in this line over here. And then race day registration was over at another line. That was completely separate, so that one was fine. But then also there was a separate line for T-shirts as well, so nothing was really marked well. I mean, on the bib actually that I have, it just has my name, my number, which is 6485. So it doesn't have your T-shirt size actually on here. And usually when you go and pick up your registration, usually they'll have the T-shirt size on there. So like, oh, picking it up, okay, size medium, boom, you grab it and you're good to go. Sometimes they do have a separate table, but it's a little bit separate from where the registration is. So yeah, they could have had a separate table for the T-shirts a little bit farther down, so you could pick that up after you get the bib. But instead it had to go and flowing the other way to the left instead of the right, so you're getting into the crowd with the registration. And so nothing too critical there. He knows they need to work on that, and I'm sure they will, because this event's been going on for a few years now. It's a very good event. It's on a closed course, which makes it nice too, because you don't have to worry about vehicle traffic bugging you while you're out on the course. So you just you're running in a nice park, nice environment. So the race went off at 9 a.m. Saw many different of my Kalamazoo runners friends there running, so that was great to see them all. Saw Deb and Michael again, like I saw at the Susan G. Komen run. Saw Chris and Sherry and Michael and Gina. Michael Dutton was taking pictures of us, so pretty sure my thumbnail will include a picture of me running in the race, and I'll probably pick the best picture out of me, because he took one in the beginning, and then one of me as I'm coming toward the finish line. And that's when I was feeling really tired. So that one may not look the best, so I might not use that one in the finish. But saw a lot of many runners. Saw my friend Brandon Van Deusen as well. He said he was going to run in it, but he couldn't for medical reasons. So unfortunately, he couldn't run in it. But he's looking to get back into training, and I really miss running against him because he's in my age group and we're around the same time. So I mean, we motivate each other because usually it's like we're only a few seconds apart. So it's fun to try to chase each other down and keep each other running very strongly through the race as well. And also want to mention this, 87-year-old Jerry Johncock was running in this race. Fantastic to see him running this. I mean, especially at 87 years old, and he's still going strong. Jerry had a great race. It was great to see him out there running as well. So anyways, race goes off at night. Finally, I'll get into talking about it. So I mean, I didn't think I was going to win this race, but I wanted to place well. There were some faster runners that started out ahead, and they did stay ahead. It wasn't like last week where we had a couple of fast runners that started out and then came back to the pack. These ones all stayed out ahead. There were a few runners I did catch within the first mile, so I was like, I made my way actually into the top 10 by the time we reached the mile mark. We headed down the chute down Spring Valley Park and made a right-hand turn, ran on the side path, avoided the big hill going up through Spring Valley Park, which was a good thing, headed right into the woods. It's a very nice, beautiful setting, especially with all the trees blossoming and the flowers as well. Passed a few runners along in the woods. We came out, ran along the path, and then turned right, ran over the bridge. And once we got to the end of the bridge, it was the first mile. And I quickly glanced at my watch. It was at 6:25 first mile. I'm like, good. It's right where I want to be. I don't want to be any faster than that. Maybe it could have been I don't want to say be a tad slower because of the fact, if you say you're slower than you are taking seconds away from you. But then again, maybe I just started a little too fast. But no. What am I talking about? I didn't. I was fine. I was going out at a very, very good clip. Had a kid in front of me that was probably around 10 years old, I think, or 11 or 12. Very fast runner. Did very well. He actually placed first in his age group. He kept sprinting a little bit ahead of me, then slowing his pace and sprinting back ahead, but it wasn't like I was catching him. He was holding his pace fairly well during the race. So he passed me, and I fell back into 10th at this point. And so we did the same loop again, and as we're getting to about the halfway point, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I haven't seen Morris Appleby yet, and he's a runner that's I don't know his age exactly, but he won Grand Masters today, and I know he's faster than me. And I'm like, where is he at? And then as soon as I start thinking that, whoop, goes right by me. So I fell back into 11th spot at that point as we got to the second mile. So then after that, we headed around the lake, ran around that area, turned right off of the big path onto a small path, and then merged back onto a path by the cemetery, and then hit the parking lot into the woods toward the final stretch, which was about a half mile to go at this point. By the way, my second mile time was a 6:33, so that's a good thing. It was only an 8-second difference there because between my first and second mile, for me, is always a critical time because it always seems to be if I start out too fast, I can tell because, let's say I could run like a 6:15 and then my second mile is like a 6:45, and I know at that point, I've started out way too fast. So I was thinking, did I start out too fast at the first mile? That's why I was saying 6:25 was that too fast. When I got to the second mile and saw 6:33, I knew at that point, not too fast at all. It was just perfect. Because that's not a big gap in between there. If it had been like a 6:43, I'd have been like, okay, that's too fast. But the quarter mile intervals have been helping out, doing 12 of those each week. So we got to the third mile and sprinting toward the finish, got passed by another guy just after the 2-mile mark, and then got passed by one more runner coming to the finish line. So I crossed in 20:27. So I was first in my age group. That's what the medal's for. First in my age group. Here, I'll show it up close for you. First in my age group. It even says it on the back too. You can read that without the glare on that. So yeah, first in my age group. So it was a fantastic race. 13th overall, like I said, first in my age group time in 20:27. So my last mile, I think, was around like 6:40, 42 or so because you run about the last 0.1 in 45 seconds. I actually didn't split it. I was figuring this out in my head. So it was around probably like 6:40 to 6:45. So pretty consistent overall. I mean, yeah, I did get slower during the run, but I mean, you know what? It's pretty consistent. So, and my goal today was to run under 20:30. So I did that. I took 23 seconds off from the Race for the Cure run. So that was great. So the next two races I'll let you know about aren't going to be your typical 5K races. I'm running the Cowboy Trail Run out at the Chef Center in Augusta coming up on Saturday, June 7th. So I'm taking a week off next week because I'm getting married. So you're going to see footage of that on my channel here at some point, probably some vlogs of me that day, and actual wedding footage as soon as I can get a hold of it. And also Bachelor Party Golf coming up. That's tomorrow, so you'll get to see that as well. So anyways, Cowboy Trail Run, it's not exactly a 5K. It's about 3.4 miles, and it has a lot of hills on the course. I'm going to ease off a little bit and take it just a little bit slower during the race so I don't end up tiring myself out and have to stop and walk, because during a race, for me, I don't like to do that. And then the week after that's the Kalamazoo Mud Run. So once again, with all the obstacles, I'm going to take it a little bit slower. It's a 5K distance, but don't expect a time in the 20s at all. And then after that's the Kalamazoo Classic. That's when we get back into it and guarantee you, I'm going to guarantee it. I am going to guarantee it. I will be under 20 minutes again for that race. The last year I ran 19:45. I know with the interval training I'm going to do over the next few weeks, it's going to get me down below 20 minutes again. I'm 20:27 right now. I'm sure that I can get down under 20 minutes. What am I looking for in the 19s? Let's not jump way ahead. Let's say under 20, between 19:45 and 20 minutes. Let's say for the Kalamazoo Classic 5K. That's coming up on the 21st of June. So you'll be hearing all those recaps coming up in the future. We'll post a link to my Twitter account in the description. Follow me on there. Also post a link to my running recap videos. Check out the other two I've done so far. This is starting to grow a little bit, so more videos will be posted in there as well. Also subscribe for more content up in the corner. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This is Mike Louden over and out for the Kalamazoo K5K Recap.